Ministers, members of the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to welcome you at the second forum of the Energy Efficiency Fund. I took part at the opening of the first forum that was launching the fund's program 1 year ago. It was the very first public event in which I participated after I took office in Kiev. The fund has been running its program Energodim since September 2019. And in 1 year, it has demonstrated impressive progress. In the same autumn of 2019, the European Commission launched the EU Green Deal initiative. It is the EU new growth strategy aimed at reaching climate neutrality, boosting innovation, quality food, modern transport infrastructure, healthier jobs, cleaner cities, and higher quality of life. Energy efficiency is at the center of this new EU policy. It has been over the last years, and it will remain one of the most important areas of cooperation between the EU and Ukraine. Indeed, we strongly believe that energy efficiency will have a large impact on the country. First of all, energy efficiency is key for reaching Ukrainian energy independence. We know that Ukrainian residential sector consumes 3 to 4 times more energy than its neighboring EU countries. About 50% of the residential heating energy in Ukraine are lost annually. If Ukraine achieves the level of energy consumption of the least performing EU country, Ukraine would become energy independent. Secondly, energy efficiency helps families save money on energy bills and create better living conditions. Thirdly, energy efficiency will allow the state scale back its energy subsidies and direct capital to other important areas like public health and education. Finally, energy efficiency, and particularly the fund, will be playing an important role in stabilizing the Ukrainian economy after the current crisis, because achieving energy efficiency creates new businesses and new jobs. In order to help Ukraine to make energy efficiency a reality, the EU has been supporting Ukraine in transposition of the EU legislation and establishing the Energy Efficiency Fund. We have directed over 100 million euro for grants and technical assistance to the fund. This is one of the biggest existing EU initiatives in the country. Despite the COVID crisis, by now the fund has received over 200 applications for the total amount of over 1 billion hryvnia. Behind this figure, there are more than 17,000 families from all over Ukraine who will benefit from energy efficiency refurbishments. I would like to congratulate the fund, government officials, members of the Parliament, international stakeholders like the World Bank, International Finance Corporation, United Nations Development Programme, Deutsche Gesellschaft für internationale Zusammenarbeit, as well as Ukrainian Homeowners Association, who made the full-scale launch of the fund possible. We must admit that the start was not easy. After its launch, the fund was criticized for taking off too slowly. We managed to sort out some disagreements with the government over the key approach to the fund. It is crucial that the fund operates outside politics, for the sake of its beneficiaries, with the homeowner placed in the driver's seat of the whole process. I believe that this awareness of the ownership is the core of the reform. We could consider providing further support to the fund if we can observe that these objectives are fully shared by the government. In addition, in order to continue these reforms and ensure full success, I see 3 critical steps at short term. First, we regret that the draft 2021 state budget for Ukraine does not foresee any allocation for the Energy Efficiency Fund. We trust that the Parliament, Verkhovna Rada, will now act responsibly and allocate due amounts to the fund. I would like to remind that the fund should receive regular and stable financing from the Ukrainian state, including for the next year, according to our existing agreements. Second, now that the Energy Efficiency Fund offers a comprehensive approach to thermal modernization with due monitoring and verification, the warm loans program for homeowners associations makes no longer sense. It creates undue competition, but also shows an inefficient use of public and donors' money. The final state budget for 2021 should make it very clear that the warm loans program for homeowners associations will not be continued. Thirdly, Ukraine has created a solid legal framework in energy efficiency that has empowered a new client, homeowners associations. Attempts to bend the legislative framework after such a successful start should stop. The Ukrainian consumer should be in the center of the legislation on housing and communal services. We believe that the draft law number 2458 can seriously impede the gas market and have a negative effect on the implementation of energy efficiency measures by making Ukrainians pay twice for some of them. In the EU, we always focus on consumers' rights. Therefore, we invite Ukrainian policymakers to align Ukrainian legislation with the EU approach. Let me conclude by saying that the EU fully supports Ukraine in all initiatives that make a meaningful difference in the everyday lives of Ukrainians, raise their living standards, support the economic growth of the country, make Ukraine more sustainable and energy independent. The Energy Efficiency Fund is one of those initiatives. And we, in the European Union, are excited to be part of your country's continued improvement for your citizens' sake and for the whole Europe's sake. I thank you and wish you fruitful discussions at the forum.